Hi, welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with a demo today all about Knit One Below, or K1b. Hi, welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Natter to help you learn to knit the easy way. I have a little video for you demonstrating how you can knit one below. Let's get to it straight away, shall we? The effect we're looking for with Knit One Below is that you're actually going to have what looks like a larger stitch in amongst your other knitting stitches. So you can see here that this looks like maybe we've been just following that stitch along here and using a larger needle. It looks like a larger stitch alongside these other ones. And here we are, it's the same thing here with this scarf. It's all the way through the scarf, it looks like a larger stitch, but it's just creating that vertical stripe along it. So that's what we have with this beret. And I'm going to show you how you create that, what looks like a larger stitch now. When we're knitting one below, this can be in a rib, it can be just in the individual stitches occasionally throughout the pattern like we have with these items here. So yeah, you can come across it in various places in knitting patterns. So we're just going to move across towards that stitch that is very obviously where we knit one below. And I'm just going to knit all the way along here. Before I get to it, I've got these few purl stitches. And then knit one below is not to knit in the stitch that you have in the needle, but to knit on the stitch from the previous row. So can you see that there? I'm going to go into that stitch that's sitting on the previous row's stitches. So that's the previous row. We've got this stitch here and it's sitting, that same piece of yarn is sitting at the back, and I go into that loop there. Into that, and I just pull the loop of yarn through just like I would with any other normal stitch, but that this stitch from this row and the stitch from the previous row, they almost sit together there on the needle. And I'm now going to just knit across to another one. And let's watch that happen again. I'm going to move that needle into the stitch that's sitting there underneath the needle. So it's not the one that's on the needle, it's the one that's below it. So it's this big hole there. So you move your needle into that, yarn goes around and you pull that loop through that stitch and you drop the current row's stitch off, and you now have that new loop sitting on the needle there. I'm now going to show you what it looks like from the other side of the knitting. We go all the way along this row and then back along to the alternative rows. Every other row is going to look different because we want this to be created over many rows, so we see the effect of it. We can see here that there are two loops sitting on the back of that stitch. We've got those two loops sitting along there, and that's what creates the larger stitch, because you're almost seeing the previous row stitch being stretched. That's what you're seeing. It's being stretched onto the loop, and you're going to appreciate that as the stitches grow and as the rows grow. So there we are. We can now see that's getting better, isn't it? It's certainly looking more impressive. We've got one big stitch, one big stitch, one big stitch instead of 6 small rows. So that's that. That is knit one below, and it will look more impressive, like I said, as you knit more rows. So great, I hope that was helpful for you. You will see this in various patterns, mostly in Fisherman's Rib. I'm going to show you how you knit Fisherman's Rib in a couple of weeks' time, but it can be around in various other patterns as well. So yes, it will appear occasionally. It's not that common. It is really good to know that you have these small abbreviations just getting built up in your technical knowledge for your knitting. Give me a thumbs up if this was helpful for you, and do hit subscribe as well. I'm here every week, so you can Click on the little bell and YouTube will notify you whenever I release a new video. I do that every Tuesday, every week. Okay, bye for now. Thanks so much for joining me. Happy knitting.